Welcome to Conversations with Cornelius. I am your host, Cornelius. Today, you will be engaged, entertained, and educated. Stay tuned. You are about to be CC'd. It is Conversations with Cornelius.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this. We greet you in the joy which Jesus Christ has shared and given unto us. We'd like to welcome you all to Conversations with Cornelius. And I know you guys probably can't hear us in the correct manner. It's probably coming through the webcam, but in a few seconds, it should be coming into the road. Uh, but as we are getting ready to do that, we're getting ready to have a conversation about the activities that's been going on. Um, Dylan, I'm gonna invite you on up, and I want you all to simply have an overview, meaning talk about what we just talked about in the office. You comfortable with that? Come on.
You don't need.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm Dylan. I'm one of the peer leaders at the site at Walking in Purpose.
Yeah, my name's Elijah. I'm a worker over at Walking in Purpose.
Overview. So yeah, on today's episode, we're gonna talk about violence among youth, and I guess something specifically with guns also, how that's affected people.
Yeah, we were recently discussing this topic about a young 12-year-old man 12-year-old boy that got shot and killed in the downtown area. I think his name was like Lil Mari or something like that. We are just discussing on just topics about gun violence, just like to be safe, ways that we can avoid that stuff, things like that.
Yeah. So yeah, we were talking about that, but I feel like I don't even really know the full context of what happened in that story, and I'm sure like some people here could also use an explanation on to what the story is.
So
if you know what it is.
yeah, I know
what happened.
a pretty good portion of it. So there was these two groups of young men. They had walked down into the downtown Nashville area for a scheduled fight, and they were fighting, and this one boy, he pulled out a gun and he shot this 12-year-old boy, Lil Mari, or Mari, we can just say, in the head, and he ended up passing a couple hours, days. I don't know how long, but he ended up passing, and that's just a shocking death because it's youth violence. Youth violence is like never acceptable. Is out of the norm, and in today's society and world, it's starting to become the norm. Like, or not norm per se, but
happening more
happening
regularly.
more often than it should be. And my first take would be that violence, like gangs and stuff like that, I think is a lack of immaturity. Because I would say it's a lack of immaturity because people, like, if you hear all the rap songs, the disses and things like that, it's just people just talking about one another, and it's not really real beef. It's just words coming out their mouth, and people are harming each other, killing each other, murdering because of words that's coming out their mouth. And
Yeah.
I think it's not a. I think it's just immature because the same. Never mind. But I think it's just immature because words doesn't affect you or what any other people have to say. And I also say what I would know. I'm gonna say what I would know. What the most that I know of of the origin of gangs. It was a beef between the Bloods and the Crips. Basically just a feud between what the other side had been talking about each other and things like that. So,
well, I'm even though I'm off that camera, I know they can still hear me, but I have a different take upon it. Because as I was growing up, we had a saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And truth be told, that is a non-factual tale, because words can hurt. And y'all, people who are watching this, and y'all know this, everybody know I'm preachery and churchy. And as a theological studies student, the Bible says life and death lies in the power of the tongue. So your words can affect others. And on that day of the tragedy that happened on Sunday, we know not what feeling that they were going through in that current moment. I don't. None of us do, because we weren't there. We all have our mixed emotions on it. And that's today we were talking about in there a few of our stories and personalities that we have done and dealt with, which are very interesting to the human eye, and especially to y'all. One of the campers who were here stated, "Oh my God, Cammie got some stories. I didn't even know she's went through that." We don't know what anybody's going through. And we always see the polished up version, the nice version, the characterized version. But there's a version of us that has been through some storms, have seen some ups and downs. And as we are talking about violence, especially in youth, because Sunday was a youth violence activity, how do we try to navigate that space of violence? How do we try to not avoid it, but try to step in so it doesn't turn out to what it did on Sunday? Because for me, Sunday evening, it had a different feel on it once I heard of the situation. It went from a howdy good time to now we have to figure out what us as a community and culture can do to support, number one, this family, and now other young individuals who are going through the ordeal of a loss. How do we deal with that? Like I asked y'all earlier today, how do y'all feel about this certain situation? Because everybody has different feelings. Now, I'll say this, because we not colorblind in here. We understand that Dylan is another color. Dylan may not be affected the same way that we may be affected, not to throw you under the bus or throw you out like that, but Dylan may not be affected the way we are affected. You won't be affected the same way I'm affected. I won't be affected the same way you are affected. Yes, we have feelings, but our feelings are different. And I'm going to pose this question to y'all because I've been talking a little bit too much. How can us as adults better support youth and help prevent violence in our communities?
I'd say like a good thing that we can do is just extend ourselves as a person that, as people that the youth should be able to talk to and like tell us things about like their life, or so we can like become a better base of support. And we can also like make a promise to like try to encourage people to not like think of violence as their first resort when encountering a problem, because I'd say what led to the shooting in the first place is the fact that they were agreeing to have a big group of people and fight surrounding in a fight. And a lot of the times that is not going to end well. So
No.
that is just not something to avoid. Especially.
Would you mind restating that question?
Absolutely. How can adults better support youth and help prevent violence in our communities? Because here's my thing, and we were just talking about this in Bible study on yesterday. It's not that the kids can help or stop any of the things that's happening, because number one, their frontal lobe has not developed yet. Your frontal cortex has not developed yet. And because I am a study major and I try to study everything, your frontal cortex does not develop to they say 25 for males and some other age for females. And most of us are not 25 yet, not in this room, probably besides Cammie. But otherwise, other than that, and we thank God for her being that age. Amen. Otherwise, other than that, our frontal cortex is not fully developed. We are still learning and growing. So how can adults help us to maintain and prevent these situations from happening?
I would say the one main part is being a role model. Kids tend to look up to younger versions of themselves, and they tend to follow after their predecessor. Um, I would say that also putting them into programs like this to keep them in a safe environment, keep them out of trouble, keep them active, keep them keep their hands moving, keep them working, make building them, maturing them, things like that. I would say will help young kids, stay out of violence, stay out of trouble, and things like that.
I agree with the role model thing. That's very important. It's not even like anything you have to do in particular. Like at the most basic level, it's just be a good person, and the people around you will like hopefully take away from you like what you're doing and how you handle certain situations.
Absolutely. And I want y'all to know that there is no right or wrong answers to these questions simply because we don't believe in right or wrong answers, because this is your feeling. This is how you are feeling. And you can't tell anybody else how to feel. If you have not, and I'll say it like this, and it's going to sound church, and forgive me. If I've fallen, you cannot tell me how the pain felt when I hit the ground. You just can't, because I was the one that hit the ground. You did not feel the pain I felt when I hit the ground. Understand? But here's how I think that us as adults can support youth and better prevent these situations by providing some safe spaces. Number one, for me, because I remember as a child, we had some safe spaces, but it wasn't as safe as I would have liked it to be. Because little do y'all know this, I'm not from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where 53206 is one of the worst places to raise an African-American male. So for me growing up, I seen the violence. I seen different things. Now, it may not have been on the particular street that I lived on because my mama didn't play that, but it was around me. It was embedded by us. It was borrowed theology. It was taught to us. It was embedded. We saw this issue. And then by creating those safe spaces, what does a safe space look like? To prevent these issues from happening, what does a safe space look like?
I'll say a safe space. What that looks like is a place where you don't have to worry, a place that you have adults that can watch over you, that can protect you, that can guide you as you go throughout your life. Really just like a place you don't have to worry. Something like that. Yes.
Yeah. Also, you're in your safe space, you'd be surrounded by people who aren't like looking to judge you or to look down on you for your issues or what you have to say. So
I love those. I think another thing for me, what a safe space look like is listening to the voices like we're doing today. Listening to the voices of the youth to see what they need is. What is the need that we are trying to fix? What is the need that we are trying to get or grab? What is the need of our youth? What is something that we need in this safe space? Now, understand this, money is one. I know it's like a laugh thing, facetious and farcical, but money is something that we do need as youth. Seriously, like we need that funding to be able to do the fun stuff that we want to do. And then not only do we need money, we need a way to make it legally, because we know there are some ways to make money that are not the most legal ways. And though that's easy money, that's, as I heard as a kid, is fast money. But fast money is not best money. It's not the good money. And that's improper English, so please excuse me. But for a safe space, we need adults to listen. And we have that platform right now. Here's what I'm so grateful about in this day and age. We have a platform to speak. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all spaces to speak up and speak out about what we need, about how we feel. When Cameron was growing up, they didn't have this type of stuff. It wasn't a come here and talk to me about your feelings. Not to say that they weren't allowed to, but I remember even for me as a child, you depressed, go depress them dishes. You sad, you ain't got no reason to be sad. You got a house paid for. You ain't wanting, lacking for nothing. It wasn't a it wasn't that I was needing or wanting something. It's that I did not have what I wanted to have or what I felt like I needed to have in that moment.
So, I'm seeing a question here from Twitch. So it says, so if Carmelo had a safe place, he wouldn't have killed. He wouldn't have gotten killed. So, what do you think?
It's not necessarily about what I think.
Like, if he had a safe place, as we were just talking about, being safe place in a safe environment where no trouble, not necessarily no trouble can happen, where trouble is limited and trouble is, just not as often.
That's a good question. What's your thoughts on it?
I would say, well, there's a context. This has to be context too. It was, I think, in the late hours of the night, and most safe places don't really operate at that late of night. Yes, he could have been going to a camp maybe in the early, maybe in the evening, or like middle day to evening. But once it's that late at night, there's not much of a safe place that is there. So I think it could have been prevented with a safe place, but also more likely than not at the time of day and the place where it is, it probably couldn't have been.
What situation are you talking about in particular?
Okay, I got something to say. This is Cammie. So the question was, if Carmelo had a safe space,
He wouldn't have got killed.
he didn't get killed. So that there was an incident. So the Metcalf kid is the one that got
Carmelo
killed.
Anthony? Is that what
Yeah,
we're
they're talking about Carmelo
he got
Anthony.
killed, right?
No.
He killed the
First name.
Yeah, the person died from the result of the incident that occurred. And it happened at a track meet, so it was during the daytime, so it wasn't at night. But I understand where you were going, but I just wanted to clear it up to let people know that it didn't happen late at night. That it
I was
was.
talking about the 12-year-old boy.
Oh, okay.
That's who I was talking about. I didn't. He said
I don't
Carmelo.
even. But when did that happen? I think that happened during the daytime.
Yeah, I don't know. When
Yeah.
That was
12-year-old.
recent.
Yeah, but it wasn't late at night. I was just
wasn't?
trying to clarify
It wasn't?
time
I thought it
frame.
was.
Why? No.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What the comment is talking about though is the Carmelo Anthony, which happened like a year ago at the track meet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
that's what he said.
but
And
the
he's
question they're
talking about the
asking
safe, or wait, let me go
a
back
safe
up.
space.
Yeah. the
So,
safe-
but
safe.
if I'm at a track
If
meet,
Carmelo had a safe space, he wouldn't have killed that guy. That's the question.
well, but being in a track meet, and I ran track in junior high and high school. Being in a track meet, I never thought that being in a track meet was not safe.
Yeah.
Right.
So that space
Yeah.
overall should have been viewed and is viewed as a safe space.
But
Right.
but also, you gotta have context. Like, why would he? Like, was there a motive of stabbing him? Was there a reasoning behind it? You can be in a safe space, but can also get killed because some kid, some guy, some random person just wants to decide it's your time.
Do both of y'all know what happened?
Yeah, I know what happened.
Like,
Carmelo.
tell me your opinion on it.
Carmelo, I think Carmelo Anthony is totally in the wrong. He shouldn't have randomly just walked up to him and stabbed
So
that
you
guy.
don't know what happened.
I do.
You just told me you don't.
What?
Okay,
I said I
so
did.
let me explain. It was a hot day. They were in the track meet, right?
Mhm.
So Carmelo, he walked under their tent because he was there with one of his friends too. He walked because it was hot. They didn't have a tent for whatever reason, right? So these two white guys, they kept on like bothering him and like kind of what's the word? Like continually bothering somebody. Yeah, harassing, right? So they kept on harassing him. And there's like a video that came out. Basically, he got jumped by two bigger, like 6 foot, 200 some pound white kids. And Carmelo, he's like maybe like 5'6", 140 pounds, right? So he didn't stab them with a knife. It's like a tool that he used to like for his cleats. And he used that to defend himself, and the dude ended up getting killed.
That's the first time I've heard that side of the story.
Yeah, I haven't really heard
But,
that side of
like,
the story either.
You know,
But could be.
a lot of people are always going to try and spin the story a certain way, but like, I think and the message you should be able to take away from it, like no matter what, is that like violence, especially with weapons, should not be something that you resort to solve a conflict. And so, yeah. All right.
The next question.
All right. Well, I think that, yeah, we're kind of running out of time today, but we'll continue this the next episode of Conversations with Cornelius. Shout out to Liberty Twitcher for engaging with us in the audience. All right. See you guys in the next episode.
Thank you for tuning in to Conversations with Cornelius. Please follow me on my social media platforms: Facebook, Cornelius A. Hill; Instagram, Arne Hill; Twitter, Hill Cornelius; and YouTube, Cornelius Hill. Now do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. It's Conversations with Cornelius. You've just been CC'd.